Hey, Amelia.
Hey, friends.
What's going on?
Nothing.
Welcome to episode 2 of season...
No.
No.
Okay. All right. We start again.
You know what? I would say we should cut this out, but I think we keep it.
Why
Because
not?
you know what?
We're just human.
We're human.
We're human, guys.
So this is season 2, episode
So
2
two.
of
External Validation, the podcast.
Yeah, sometimes a cold open doesn't really bode well for us.
It was for sure cold.
It was cold. It was opening, but here we are.
Here we are. It was
Here we
icy. And yeah, so guys, I just want to start off by prefacing saying that... What am I prefacing?
I have no idea what we're preferencing right now.
We know we said that last episode was...
a visually
recorded.
Audio.
About
Okay,
that.
so here's what happened. The thing is when you try and do these things, the level of technical audio-visual degrees that you need is uncanny.
And I'm sorry to say that my 2 years of working at Best Buy back in 2010 did not help us.
No, also, too, technology has changed. Let's be honest.
It has evolved.
Also, can we just also establish that we're working off a PC?
Yes, not a Mac.
Now, mind you, it's a 64-bit Excel, but does that count towards this? It does not. That's
Well,
what we've learned.
as you can see, it is Intel Core i5.
We love Intel Core.
We love Intel
5.5,
Core.
Whatever that does.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that does.
It
but
sounds important.
It sounds like it's needed.
Yeah.
Oh, you go, is there a way that we could press that button or that sticker on there? And does it allow us to record audio visual for a podcast?
Fortunately, no.
It doesn't.
But so we hope by at least episode 3, we get our crap together for you.
I hope that's something we can do, which is really, really great. But I'm not confident because all of season 1, we said, you know what, we're going to figure this out. And then we tried like 18 different platforms. Then we figured out we have to stitch it. And then ironically, we're sitting here and we're staring at a camera that's not on.
It's there. It's just not there. But you know what? Let's just say that's going to be a part of my cheers and challenge.
Well, kick it off. Let's go
All right.
for it.
Challenge. I am obviously audio and visually
I'm gonna
challenge.
I'm gonna double tap on that.
Okay. Tap, tap.
Tap tap tap.
Tap, tap.
On that because that's a
Okay.
challenge for honestly for a year. Quite honestly.
Yeah, but you know what? Slow growth is good growth.
It's good growth.
Good growth.
As in the book, The Tortoise and the Hare.
Yes.
Slow and steady.
Slow and steady wins the race. And
Sure
that's
does.
what it is, guys. So let's see what next week's cheers and challenges are. But this week's challenge is technologically not smart.
Not going well.
Cheers.
Cheersies.
We made it to February, Chris.
February is a month of all months. We
Why
love
was
February.
January a million cajillion years long?
I personally didn't love my January events.
Yep.
However, I did have a good January.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would say my cheers is that I had a really good week. I just feel like I was tested a lot this week in terms of my patience. But you know what though? I feel like I handled these situations well and I'm pretty pleased with it. So I'm going with it.
That is something that
Yeah.
deserves a cheers.
Sure does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not cheersing right now, but we'll
No, we're not-
high-five
we're
it.
gonna high five. Yes.
Yeah, yes,
And what
okay.
about you? What's your cheers?
We made it to February.
Oh, that's quite literally
Yeah,
what
that's
that
quite
cheers was.
literally
Yeah.
what
okay.
it was. Yeah, no, January was a bajillion years long, and we made it through, and February already is looking up. And
It's
I think
looking sunny and it's looking great.
sunny with a side of bacon. You
Oh,
know what I mean?
love that.
Stunning. So I'm putting out the good vibes for February.
You're vibing.
Because you want to know why in March, guys. It's Pisces season.
Ayo.
You want to know what that
And
means?
your girl's a Pisces.
Your girl's coming out in March, honey.
She was swimming.
She is
grooving.
grooving.
She's having fun.
Hell yeah.
Here she comes.
Yeah.
So, ironically, that has also nothing to do with today's episode.
Guys, it's been we've had a weird week.
Yeah.
Life is strange.
Well, maybe it is actually a little bit related to today's episode, which
Tell me.
So yesterday's episode, what am I talking about? Last week's episode
Yes.
was really just about the gap between effort as well as feedback.
Correct.
And everything that lies in between. We spoke about the messy middle and just how quite messy it is, not only in terms of progress, but just in terms of how you handle that middle, right? And,
Yep.
And we came up with some good, I think, suggestions for it, quite honestly.
I liked it. I would take our advice. That's just me.
Yeah, you sold me. So that counts for something.
Good job on that one.
Love it. Yeah, patting myself on the back. But no, but today's what it's about is that it's about kind of what it feels like to be starting over or really refining in life. And this kind of is a good segue from last week's episode, which is the difference between, or that gap between feedback and effort. And now it's really about what does refinement feel like actually compared to truly starting over.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, that people view refinement as a complete abandonment, like we're just letting it go. But the way I view it is that it's a pivot, right? You're not destructing your life. You're not kabooming everything. You are just slowly making concerted efforts and having discernment in where you're moving forward in your life.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you ever look at refinement differently? Like
1,000,000%. I already know what you're going to ask.
Yeah, like
Sorry, ask it.
No, what was I going to say? I'm see if you're going to read my mind now, because I feel like you typically are good at it. Go for it. What was I going to say?
Oh my God. I had a brain fart. You said, do you typically view refinement
differently?
Yeah, differently from like starting over, right? Yeah. I do. I think because,
like, in other words, like, it's not like, because we were talking about like, so the reason why I was saying it was like we were talking about Pisces season. So saying, do you actually view it differently?
Well, Pisces season is the end of the zodiac, and that is the zodiac that kind of holds all the zodiacs in one.
It's the container, if you will.
No, we are the manifestation of the stars. You're welcome.
Is it true? Is that
kind of, sort of? Well, no, but like, Pisces is like the last sign of the zodiac, and it is kind of told that it holds little pieces of each zodiac before it.
Love it.
It's kind of like the end of the cycle. Like when you look at the sign of Pisces, it's two fish going in like a circle, going in a cycle. So it's the way I view it.
Yeah, you go. I'm not sure if that's Google.
I'm not
tested.
Susan Miller or anything. You know what I mean?
I got it. Well, okay. Well, let's run with that.
But okay, so going back to your question, yeah, I think the way that I review refinement is that you're making small little subtractions in your life.
Okay.
So you're not abandoning things, right? So if you're talking about, okay, well, I want to refine this portion of my job. You're not saying I'm quitting my job. You're going to say, what little steps can I take to make this a little bit more consumable for myself, or a little more one step in the right direction? The way that I view it too, because I feel like I'm at a part of my life where a lot of refinement is needed. And the way I'm viewing it is we're just kind of taking out what is misaligning, right? So if my goal is I want to have a certain physique. I want to be, I want to have very strong core. I want to be lean. I want to be strong. So I thought, let's do a little redirection and let's give Pilates a shot. So
Absolutely.
I'm trying to realign.
Yeah.
I'm capable, right? So my body's capable. My body is strong. I can try something new. I'm realigning it from something that no longer serves me, which is HIIT gym. Love my HIIT gym, but it's not where I am at this part of my life.
Yeah, it doesn't suit it.
So, so I mean, you can't put old strategies that worked on your old self into who you want to become, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not saying that those strategies or that version of you was incorrect.
Sure.
But you've reached the pinnacle of that version of you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's kind of where I am in February 2026. We
love
are
that.
pruning relationships.
Oh, love
We
this.
are pruning habits.
Oh, you're pruning, baby.
Timelines, expectations that just no longer serve me at this point of my life. And that's what we're human beings. You are meant to grow. You are meant to shift. Like, I think it's all good.
I like that.
Right? What's your opinion?
You know what's funny? So just to like reiterate for those that are like listening in, it's like what's really the difference between starting over and refining. And I don't know if there's, at least the way I see my life right now, is that every day you learn a little bit, even if it's 1%, 0.5%, you're always moving up into some degree. And it's almost like you ever hear those questions of like, would you ever choose between X or Y, and X being like, would you ever choose going back in time with all the knowledge that you know, or taking, X boatload of money, today or something. And the idea is if you would go back with all the knowledge you have to now, you could maybe rewrite some mistakes. Maybe you can, turn some regrets into successes or whatever it is. And I don't know that, like, I don't know what a do-over is in life. I don't know if we could really do anything over, because I tend to think like history is pretty much written in ink.
Yeah.
And so I'm not sure you can necessarily start over. I just think life is about big refinements. Some of them are much larger than others that seem to border a start over. But I feel like starting over is such a negation, like it negates experience. So like I look at like, you know, people that are going through something really, really difficult and maybe they're trying to get out of it and you want to have a start over. I don't know if that's possible to like really fully start over, to like cut something off, you know, and move on. And listen, I would love to know, like, maybe I'm seeing it incorrectly, and I want to learn if there's anyone out there that feels like start overs exist. Like, how does it exist in your life? Because I don't know I could really start over in an asset, like in any facet of my life. So ultimately, I think like start overs for me really don't occur, because I feel like every day I've learned something and I take that with me.
Yeah.
Like it's not like the bag of tricks get cut out and I don't know them anymore. Like I always have them.
It's kind of like you're shedding that skin, but it's still a part of your journey because it was once a part of you, but you're just
Right.
like shedding it to something new.
Right. Like I wouldn't know, like if someone's like, let's say for instance, you're an individual's unhappy in their career and they want to quote start over. Yes, maybe starting over means you're starting from the bottom, but all the experience that you have, whether it was in managerial or technology or in, you know, interpersonal or in, you know, just in finance or whatever it is, all of it goes with you. So you might start over in terms of you pivoted your career, but I feel like starting over, maybe honestly, now that I'm talking about this out loud, maybe starting over is this illusion of doing a change in your life but not being at the same place.
Ooh,
As a different starting point.
I like that. I mean, this conversation even reminds me about the conversations we had when I was going through my unemployment journey and I was looking for positions, and I held on so strongly to this is my title and this is what I
Yeah.
should be at. And I didn't get that. I think we even discussed it in like season 1 where I got a new job. It was fresh, and I just felt like, you know, I'm supposed to be somewhere, and I tried so hard to hold on to that old identity instead of embracing it and creating a new identity.
Yeah.
And I think like not that there's anything wrong with maybe like reviewing your life and saying, well, where do I want to be? But I think there has to be awareness and gratitude in where you currently are, and not a comparison to who you once were.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it's funny because now that I'm saying it, it sounds obvious. It's a start over. You're starting over. I almost look at like I'm envisioning this Monopoly board.
Oh,
Right? Like you see the go, you collect $200
Yep.
and you go to Connecticut Avenue, right? And then you roll the dice and it says, you know, you have to go back to, you know, you have to go back. Well, yeah, you're starting over on the board, 1,000%, but you have gained experience. You've rolled the dice. Maybe you now know how the dice is going to be rolled. You know the moves that other players are making. You see how progress has been made. You know what other, you know, hotels or, you know, homes that are going up. You know what properties are being bought. Like I don't know if in life, like it's possible to press pause and rewind on the tape recorder.
yeah, I agree. I don't think there really is a way that you can do it, because all of every single moment of
Right.
where you've been.
It keeps your experience progresses.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean,
Like, cause think about it. Even when you and I have changed careers, taken risks and stuff, and sometimes you landed up, sometimes you landed down, right? I feel like even when you land down, you're not, you maybe didn't land where you wanted to, or maybe you took a step back, but was it really a true start over? In other words, what's then the difference between a massive refinement versus a start over? Does start over really mean you have to lose something?
I don't
Or
I don't think it's losing. I think it's making the concerted effort to leave things that no longer serve you. So I'm going into a plant analogy. I've become a plant mom, right? So I've never had house plants before. My mom's a huge plant person, so she started giving me plants as like a gift. And I have a birds of paradise, and I love her. She's beautiful. And so how it works is that all the new branches come from the center of the I guess you can call it like the trunk, for example. And what happens is once you have leaves that have kind of done their purpose, you have to keep them on so that the the stalk of the plant has energy to grow new leaves. Once you see a new leaf coming up and growing, that's when you cut off the dead weight of the other leaf. And that's kind of what I view refinement as, right? It's like there are things that I am bringing to who I am today that I'm going to eventually have to let go of so I can keep moving forward. There's like a quote that I heard where it's like, if you want to like change your life, you don't look at the rear view mirror. You don't look at the past. You have to, that's why they call it the rear view. You have to keep looking forward to your future. And you will always carry that branch with you. You'll always carry those experiences with you. But how much are you going to allow those experiences to actually define who you are? So I don't think of, I've used I guess like back in the day, I've used the term I'm starting over, but like you don't really get that opportunity because what the decisions I made in college, the decisions I made post-grad, the decisions I made in all my career brought me to where I am today.
Right. And it's like, it's kind of what you're saying, using the tree analogy or a plant analogy, you maintaining the plant is a refinement. But like, I guess if you were to like cut the plant down and uproot it and then replant it,
it's not going to have the same strength.
Right. So you're kind of like you can do that, of course, too. But I guess the point is like there must be times in a person's life where that is an option. Like, I guess, like, I mean, like but I don't know where that would be an option. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
so let me ask you a question.
Why would you unplant a plant?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you think refinement feels like failure?
I think it could.
Okay.
I think we're taught that momentum has like a really loud look, and it's like at least I could talk to it as like, when like you're in school and they're like, you have to quote climb the corporate ladder. I mean, the visual is pretty clear. It's a ladder and there's rungs and you climb it. It's this linear thing and it feels like they're evenly spaced. And there's one ladder seemingly, and it seems like everyone is seemingly at different levels. Like, that's the visual I have of you climb it. So momentum is not only has this kind of weird, loud look and very visceral and visual, but it's also seemingly is linear. So I think though what happens is then when people don't see the momentum take shape or take pace at the root or the timing that they're looking for, we assume that eventually something had to have gone wrong because what you visualized, what you thought was going to happen is obviously not actually taking shape. So I do think it comes off as failure because it basically asks you to admit that like this version isn't it anymore. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's almost like at the end of the day, refinement is evidence of growth, but you can only edit what's worth keeping.
That makes sense. I mean, I think even to call back from last week's episode, refinement does happen in the in-between.
Yeah.
There's no hype to refinement. There's no applause to refinement, but it's right before that breakthrough.
Yeah.
So it's right before that feedback, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know what it is too? I
also think failure you'd walk away from.
1,000,000%. And I think that's what happens because I always feel that, like, in my opinion, if there's like something really big that people want to achieve, I feel like a lot of people quit right before it clicks.
Yeah.
Right before,
for sure.
Like, you actually did a TikTok about it when you said, does anyone feel that weird in between where it's like you don't relate to your old life,
but your new life isn't ready.
But your new life isn't ready yet. And I think it's because like your identity of who you once were hasn't caught up to the new identity, right? So you're kind of grieving. I feel like your nervous system too, it's like you're grieving your identity and your nervous system is thinking that you're in danger. Yeah. Because they're like, I'm not comfortable. I don't know what this means. Yeah. Like, I don't. So you immediately want to revert back.
Yeah.
But
you ever see too, like a lot of people talk about, let's say you started an organization, you have 5 years of experience. Then all of a sudden they go into like a performance review and they say, you have to be strategic. And it's this word that gets like blown around and it makes no sense because your entire career at this point has been ingrained in you to say yes all the time, do everything that's said, transactions and volume are your friend, because it's about know the process, understand the process, and do it as fast as you possibly can. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you go into a review, and not that it's a bad review, but the reviewer tells you got to be more strategic. And it becomes this very weird thing. And I kind of feel like that's kind of that part of your old life no longer suits you, but your new life isn't ready yet. And I feel like that's kind of how you know you're ready for promotion, or you know you're ready for a big change, which is someone telling you your old life of basically being a processor is no longer suiting to you, because your next step is really for you to be a strategist, or someone who's a manager, or someone who's going to think a little bit bigger, because it's not about just what you're doing that affects maybe you or your department or someone else's quicker role. It's more about the long-term version of the department. It's about how you're going to affect other people's careers. It's affect the direction of maybe the agency, the department, the division. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, totally, because think about it. You are shedding that title of processor.
Right.
And you're you're going to the next expansion, which is strategist.
Yeah.
And that's just a natural part of life.
Yeah.
I understand why it could feel like failure. I understand why people are fearful around it, but it's such a cool place to be too.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
Like the unknown, like there was a quote, I remember I said it to one of my old coworkers and they're like, wow, I've never heard that, where it's your life begins at the outside of your comfort zone. Because how many people just do the same routine every day and they're just stuck in the same identity.
Yeah.
We're meant to grow. We're meant to change our opinions. We're meant to like get different information and get different education where you're like, wow, I never would have viewed it that way.
Yeah.
That's what evolving beings are.
I do think though that there is, for some people, I do believe, and this is maybe not like a full view of a lot of people, but I do believe that we tend in the US to really promote that if you're not growing, like you're failing. And that is so not true.
Yep.
That like some people are really content, and content can mean that I just like every day being a processor.
Yeah.
I really love that. I love going in. I love knowing what my role is. I love doing my job really well, executing it really well, and coming home. But in the US, we tend to really promote this idea that like if you're not wanting to become the manager, then the CEO, and then a global CEO, and then own the company, and then buy a company, and then merge companies, like there's this weird sense of like you're forgotten or falling behind.
Yeah.
I don't think that's everywhere, but I do think like you tend to see that like it's all about progress.
Yeah.
And I do think you need people that are just kind of content. However, I think in the context of this episode of refinement and starting over, or, you know, what we were talking about is like, why does refinement feel like failure, is for these people, they're content doing what they want and they're content in their current role, but they're still having a good experience.
Yeah.
The fact is that them starting over would probably feel like to them, maybe, or them refining would be taking on this new role of like a manager or whatever else. Whereas maybe if they just stayed in their role and gained more experience, they can have a blossoming career in the same route. You know what I mean? Be a trainer, go and help other people learn the process and execute as good as them, if not better.
I think though they need to want to have that, and not everyone has that.
Yeah. True.
There's a lot of people that like they're fine, and like listen, there's different people in every walks of life. Some people are totally fine with just doing the same thing day in day out because they know it's consistent. Great. We need people like that in the world.
Yeah.
But you also need people in the world that want to challenge you, that want to see you do better for yourself, that believe in you, and that's where I fall in this life. And I think that's why you and I have such a strong friendship, because we push each other and we say like, listen, yeah, that worked for you, but it doesn't work for you now. Like, you're meant for bigger things. You deserve better. Yeah. That's what I think friendships and, you know, having open and honest conversations like these are so important. Yeah. Because you may think, I feel like I'm doing something wrong. Like, everything's falling apart. Yeah. And everything's, you know, it's the perspective of everything's falling apart. Nothing's going right. I have to start over. But if you shift that perspective to say, sure, everything might be, let's change the verbiage totally. If it feels like everything is falling away, maybe it's because you're no longer available to what it serves. And that right there, it just like, that like resonates so deeply, because the words we use are so important. So instead of saying falling apart, which is a horrible connotation, just say you're slowly, it's falling away from you. It's just falling off of you like a leaf falls off the tree in the fall. Yeah. It happens every year. Yeah. Because it has to, to have a moment of
It's part of life.
To have a moment of dormancy, to be able to bloom again in the next year.
Right.
Going to that analogy, nature's not apologizing for their leaves falling off.
No.
Nature's not apologizing for a branch falling off.
But what's interesting is the human experience says even when the snow is on the tree and it's bare, you still find it beautiful.
Exactly. And the
And
thing
then
is,
when it's beautiful and it's budding, you go, wow, there's life on it now. And then when it's summer, you're like, it's so full and green and whatever. You know what I mean? Like you admire it at all stages.
because you know what's coming next too. And I think that's what in life, that's people seem to forget that it's like, you know, the tree is going to bloom.
Yeah.
You know, the sun is coming out. You know, the flowers are going to blossom and it's going to be beautiful. Like, that happens with you too.
Yeah.
We as human beings don't give ourselves enough credit, but also our friends enough credit when that happens. And I hope that our listeners can see them in this conversation and realize that if you want more, you deserve to have more. You deserve better. And, you know, engage with us in the comments and tell us, like, what are you guys editing out? What version of yourself are you releasing with gratitude, saying, I am so proud of college Amelia for making the choices that she did to get, you know, 33-year-old Amelia to where she is today.
Yeah.
If you move with a sense of thank you for serving me, your next step and your next expansion is going to be insane.
Yeah. What you had said just like before about pruning, and then you mentioned just right now actually about like editing out. Like, what are you actually editing out, would you say right now?
I would say I'm editing out a lot of self-doubt. I'm editing out the second guessing.
You go, as
Goodbye.
A person.
This is the last episode ever.
So ironically,
nice to know you.
You go the self-doubt, but mainly you.
Yeah, you're just really negative. You give me nothing.
Yeah,
you give nothing.
No, it's all right.
But I think, truly and honestly, I even put this on my vision board. I'm listening to my gut this year.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hyper overanalyze. I'm not going to ask a bajillion different people their opinion. I am going to sit with myself. I am going to meditate. I'm going to pray. I'm going to do journal, whatever I need to do. But every decision I make moving forward from today
is yours,
is mine. And it's, you know, I'll ask opinions, whatever. But like, am I going to base my opinions on it? No, I'm going to listen to my gut. And I'm going to say, this is who I want to be. This is 2026 Amelia. And I am so excited to meet her.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing for you.
And we love 2025 Amelia. She went through it, honey. But, you know, she came out on the other side.
She's on the other side.
And who knows what version of Amelia we're going to get in 2026. I'm so excited to share it with you guys once we get there.
She's going to come out to play, baby.
Yes, she is. What about you? You tell me, what are you editing out?
Bigger thing I kind of over explaining.
I'm big on that too.
Hyper over explainer.
Yep.
But in every facet, even when I'm at work or I'm in a social setting, anywhere. And a lot of it is that like I always want to make sure that like I feel understood to a person. So I tend to like give as many details, and I really don't need to, but I tend to do that. Also too, I think like I've recognized through just talking and listening to myself, and even honestly through the podcast, that there's a sense of like grandiosity that I've always chose with goals. Like I know I tend to create a goal, and then I can't just be satisfied with the goal. And I think you and I were talking about this recently of like, would I ever be satisfied if I climbed Mount Everest? And like the answer is a resounding no.
No. You have to do the volcano too.
I have to do the volcano, and because it's unfortunately like I don't know why, but there probably is an external validation piece to it of like being noticed for something extraordinary or whatever, and like which is like, do I really want to climb Mount Everest in a dust storm? No, but but for whatever reason, I'm addicted to wanting to do it.
Yeah.
And so it's not the greatest thing, so I need to like shed like things like that don't really serve me, as you're saying.
Okay, so this is what we're going to do to end out the episode. Give me an affirmation of consolidate everything you just say and give me an affirmation for 2026, Chris.
I would say that I'm smart, I believe in myself, and you can 100% do it.
I love that.
How about you?
I'm going to say I honor every version of me that got me to where I am today. I trust the refinement process. This isn't starting over. I'm stepping into my power, my path, and my standards.
That is an affirmation. That's a paragraph.
Honey, well, sometimes affirmations are long.
That is a chapter in a large young adult.
Well, then guess what?
book,
You're not allowed
but it's
to
very
look at
good.
my sticky notes on my office.
They're not. No, they're not sticky notes. That's like a sticky tile.
Well, I do have the really big ones that are like half a page.
Do you really?
They're my
You probably will.
They're my
I feel
favorite.
like you're the person, if we were to do like, remember that show back on MTV called like Room Raiders?
Oh yeah.
But if we were to like raid your office, like
Oh.
do like a corporate professional version, I feel like you would be the person that has the stapler,
Yep.
the glue sticks, and the pencil box.
Yep.
And you have a 3-hole punch.
Yep.
Because you never know when you're going to need a 3-hole punch.
Yeah, and a ruler.
Of course. Yeah. And it has to be in your pencil cup, along with 97 pens that you've never used.
Incorrect. I have a pen of every color, but I have 2 of them in case one runs out.
Of course you do.
And highlighters.
Also, though, too, shout out to I'm a blue pen user, which is absurd. I know it's a weird thing. I know, but I love a good blue pen.
I found the best thick black inky pen.
like
It's a 1.8 millimeter. And it is the smoothest.
I paper. Do you remember erasable pens?
Oh, they were horrible.
What are you talking about?
Because it never fully erased. They never fully erased.
That's like so not even true.
Okay, well, how light were you writing on the paper?
You probably got a knockoff brand because
Yeah, I had. Yeah, I did, Chris. I shopped at Kmart.
they had knockoff brand like versions of the pen.
Oh, Kmart had everything, honey.
As like a knockoff.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like think about like Amazon. Amazon has like knockoff Sharpies.
I don't.
Same concept.
I totally made up that they had knockoff brands. Did they have knockoff?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
really?
yeah. It's like, say Papermate was the one that created
Yeah.
it, and then like Bic came and did it.
Oh, I see. Okay,
That, yeah.
I see. I do like the gel pens, the one with like the metal, like
Oh, little ball.
and you have to take off
yeah,
the little
yeah,
plastic
yep.
thing. Oh, like they're so satisfying.
I had to get new pens to write thank you notes for work for the Christmas, and
Love
I found
it.
the best ones on Amazon. One's a zebra, and it is the
Oh, the zebra.
smoothest, inkiest black.
Yeah.
Love her so
Also,
much.
though, too, I mean, even though I never use it, who here has a lead pencil?
Oh,
and,
me.
And you click the
Yeah.
top. You
Yep,
have to.
I do. You have to.
And there's something about having the lead pencil that brings you back and
Mm-hmm.
being like, should I also get like grid paper? Because like maybe I should.
Grid paper's a throwback.
Oh my God, yeah. Like when there was grid paper, I was like, and I would have to write one letter in each box.
Oh, yeah, same.
Obviously. Yeah.
This is why our OCDs match.
Yeah. But then like also though too, when you know what really bothered me is
Tell
when
me.
the lead pen, not the lead, yeah, like the lead pencil, you would click out on the eraser, and then the small lead would pop out, and it was too small. Or when you're writing, the lead pen like there wasn't large enough.
Yep.
So the lead would go in as you're writing.
Yep.
And it would create that noise.
I think about when like you're writing and it snaps off and you rub the metal against it. Oh, it makes me want to gag.
It's the worst. It's the absolute
It's the
worst.
worst. Well, okay, so we derailed, guys. Anywho,
Here's the thing.
we should have ended on affirmations. We ended on lead pencils, graphite.
There is a logic sequence to it.
What is
That's all
it?
that matters. Write it down and it'll happen. However you write it, graphite
Or ink.
or ink or even erasable, it only matters if you say it, you write it, and you do it. So with that, we leave you with episode 2 of the External Validation
And
podcast.
if you do still write with an erasable pen,
Please
can
let
you
us
please
know.
let us know? Because I
Yeah.
am curious about this.
Also, yeah, and what color? Because I would say blue.
Black.
That's
I know.
it's very professional of you. I just feel like blue is easier to stand out. But we're all talking
Yeah,
about
but black is the EA in me. We like continuity. We like structure.
But what is blue doesn't okay. We'll
Blue
talk
is
about
not
this.
considered professional. All right,
What we're gonna
episode
do-
3.
We're gonna take this offline. Is what we're gonna do.
We're gonna circle back.
We absolutely appreciate each and every one of you out there, and definitely write in the comments. See us on Facebook, TikTok, Podbean, YouTube, the works, and we'll see you next week.
Hopefully, physically, actually see you next week. So
Yeah,
fingers crossed for us,
honestly,
guys.
We don't know, but yeah.
We'll see you next week. Have a great week, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.